I can't in any way tell you that I'm an expert, because I'm not. I've never grown tobacco before in my life, but I can at least show you kind of how we started and where things have gone since then. And I'm kind of using this as an opportunity to log the differences in how I've been giving them their nutrients, their water, and everything else. Havana 142s and Madoles that we're growing right now, they all started as seedlings that we got from Victory Seeds. They're really, really small, so I definitely had multiple seeds per container as I got started with them. In fact, I'm going to go show you the container, or the cube maker that we used in the beginning. And then I have split them up in three different basically potting mediums or approaches for now. I've got some that are directly in the ground, some in raised beds, and some still in the greenhouse. So I'll show you the difference between all those and give you the time frame for what we've got so far and what I think is working the best. So this is the cube maker that we used to start them all out. Actually, I think it was in this exact pan here too. We put together our own potting soil, highly nutrient. I think it had some perlite in it as well. We made a ton of cubes and we got them all started. I'll show you the pictures here in a second of what the seedlings look like when we first got going. As you can see, they were pretty, I mean, they're tiny. They're so small, but they started growing pretty quick and we needed to split them. Now, in the greenhouse, these things are thriving. They're so happy, but they're getting maxed out, and you can tell, like, if you look at this container here, when I went to split them, I did not do a very good job. You've got multiple plants that are in here, and they're not going to survive. So I got to figure out a plan for these. I'm running out of places to grow tobacco. I think I had 100 seeds to start with, like 50 Madoles and 50 of the Havana 142s to get started, but like I said, it was really hard to separate them out, so I would have multiple per container when I first got started with them. But you can use my hand as an example. These things are getting huge. In fact, these are the happiest ones I think so far, but I'll show you kind of the difference between the ones that are in the greenhouse and the ones that are in the soil. He's not super happy. For one thing, I've got no pests in here, so the ones that are in the greenhouse are doing fantastic. I did a video on these ones earlier this week when we came in here, and you've got a mixture. The ones that are in the ground, you can kind of see they're coming along. They're a little wilty. Unfortunately, we got sloppy with our bark this week, but they're pretty good. The soil here is clay, so we dug out these holes. I did a video on these two. They're getting direct irrigation to the roots rather than surface. I think because I had the sprinkler in the yard as well, which is right over here, we got a little bit of surface watering too. Generally speaking, I don't think that these things have the best opportunity for growth because there's only so much amended soil before they get directly into the clay. The other problem is, as you can see, a lot of pest infestation, which I've been putting down eggshells and coffee grinds and that kind of stuff because I'm real hesitant to use any kind of a chemical on a product that somebody could eventually, you know, put in their mouth or try to smoke or something. The ones that are in the pots, they were doing much better. Today they don't look as impressive. The weather's been hit and miss. This guy is starting to flourish a little bit. I think I've got him here. This is one of the Havana 142s. He's doing okay. He's doing okay. And then the last one I've got over here, again, he's leafing out like crazy. We'll see what kind of flower we get. The flowers are kind of interesting because we like to raise anything for pollinators and hummingbirds. And this is another ground one. A little bit stunted. The ground ones are a little bit stunted. I'll go show you my other one. This whole raised bed was an afterthought, but all this soil is an amended soil. It's got a mixture of compost, potting soil, mushroom blend, fish blend, and these guys all get fed every week as well. This one is kind of one of my favorites, but he's doing well, but not as well as I would like. And I got pest issues. The pest issues are definitely the greatest with any of the ones that I've got growing on the ground. Like, we're not going to get a lot out of this guy. Same thing. He's starting to work past it. We'll see how it goes. And then this one is the best one by far. Again, compare it to my hand for size. We're at the last day of May here. and I'll show you the seedlings from March and April to give you an idea of how fast they were growing. A lot of pest issues though. So now notice how dark his leaves are and how big he's getting, but also notice where the shadow starts. So he's getting sunlight for more of the day than he is. Ironically, he's looking pretty big and healthy, despite the fact that he's basically still in full shade, like that guy and that guy. So they're gonna get more afternoon sun. He's somewhere in the middle. He should be doing better than that one, but is struggling. A little bit more sun and full sun. So I think so far what I've learned from all this is a lot of greenhouse time is really good because they come out already pretty strong. Pest prevention and surface water are the two things I got to work on. They don't like to be watered on top. It's kind of like what we've learned with tomatoes, you know, water at the roots. So the ones that are getting watered, well, the ones I just showed you, they're all being watered by an automated sprinkler system that we've got in play. And they're doing okay. You know, it's about 50-50. You could kind of see which ones were struggling and which ones weren't. There really wasn't a whole rhyme or reason to it, as whether or not it was the pests, the sun, or the water, because we're about 50-50 over there. But when I look at these ones over here, these ones have the most sun the whole day, and I'll show you what that looks like. So like I said, these are the ones I did a video of the other day. If you watched my irrigation video, I had a couple mishaps, but it's going pretty good. Again, I'm not real impressed by this thing. It looks like he's struggling. Oh, automated system just went off. But if you look at everything here, these ones are doing great. Even this guy who's in the ground, and that one. And I have, you didn't see it, but I've set my sprinkler up so it's kind of a narrow shot so it won't hit these guys from the surface level anymore. But if you take a look, I did tell you guys I was going to rebark it. We barked it. Actually, my wife ended up doing most of this. I just hauled it and unloaded it for her. But all of these guys get massive sunlight until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So these guys get the morning sun. They get dried out real good. I think that they're happy with it. The sprinkler I've got set on a really narrow setting. So even as I stand here, I'm not getting wet. It's just hitting the grass and it's not hitting the tobacco leaf so much or at all. No, there's a couple of drops. It did get some. But they're getting it from the wet. They're getting it from here. And you can see the soil is pretty wet. It's doing a good job. I mean, all the way over. That's pretty dark soil in there. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. A little wilty. You might want a little bit more water. So I'll keep working on that. But today is nutrient day too. So today what we'll do is we'll run through here and we're going to give them all various nutrients. So again, back into the greenhouse. The Super Thrive, generally, I'm not sure you can overuse it. We use this when we transplant, mostly to help with the shock. The Vigoro, we use this on anything that's in the vegetative stage before it really starts blooming. I'm using this heavily on tobacco, tomato, and a lot of our other vegetables right now. The next one is the Tiger Bloom. I'm pretty excited about that one. We're using that on more of the flowering vegetables. And when the tobacco starts to flower, I will give them some of this. On some of the plants that I still want to veg a little bit more but are starting to show blooms, like some of the tomatoes, I'm giving them a mixture of both right now. And then last one is More Bloom. That one in particular is going to go directly to the roses today. So that's our plan for today. I will have some Super Thrive used because I'm going to transplant more tomatoes and tobacco. I will use this on pretty much everything. This will go on the stuff that's already starting to show pretty positive blooming. That one will go on the roses. So that's it on the tobacco update. We're doing the Madoles and the Havana 142s, like I said. I think we'll have something. You know, we don't smoke, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll probably make some dip for some friends and maybe see if we can make some pipe tobacco or something. But it's a fun experiment just to see if we can grow one more plant. So I'll keep it updated, and if we get to the point where we can actually harvest some and cure it out, I'll do a video on that too. Also, we're trying really hard to be able to do our Sunday Nutrient Day as a live feed, but we need 18 more subscribers. So if you see it in your heart, subscribe. Thanks.